You don't go for the meteor hammer with the shaker. I don't want to see it because none of your spells stun long enough for you to be able to use the meteor hammer properly. So I'm not a fan of that one. But I think it's gonna be blink, BKB, and then you go classic shard doctrine, stuff like that. It's all gonna be much different than a position 4 shaker. Just you're gonna have more farm, and BKB might be a different thing. But yeah, I think blink and the arcane boots plus the BKB is the way to go.
Okay, and this is it, the third and final here with Team Spirit. And how we get into it, we're going to take a word from our sponsors over at EGB.
Now that's more like it.
Prepare for battle.
Who down? Now that's more like it.
So, welcome back, and hurry. Now that we see both lineups and we've seen 2 games, one go for either side, looking at these lineups here, who are you backing to take the game number 3 and take this series victory?
This is a tough question, actually, right? I feel like there's no winners in the draft right now.
Right.
And both of the teams have shown. I'm just trying to think about why I would go for one or the other team. So I'm gonna make my decision. I'm a man here. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong or right.
30 seconds to battle.
I'm gonna go for Hydra. I think. Yeah. I think they have everything in their lineup to deal with everything Spirit has to offer, right? There is a chance that Collapse just crushes his lane right now and takes Hydra by surprise. But if Hydra can read this game properly, do okay in the laning phase, they can just continue running forward, and every single hero on the side of Spirit is killable.
Well, let's see. Lefty certainly is going to be able to get stuff where he is. He gets up with just a marquee. He has to throw a right click out, and we'll see the classic shaking. You'll get those blocks done with the fishy coming through. So this wave all the way back here, and you see the punch go for the body blocks. Says the rooms do go 2 for 2, but we'll see how effective this fishy block is going to be here for Collapse.
I think Leviton is the most annoying player in the world for his enemies, because what he just did, he took away half of Yanaro's HP without getting hit once. He's just cutting him and attacking him and constantly getting his HP down so as to try to force him to morph a little bit more into strength, so he's not that great in terms of last hitting.
So, most annoying to people watching, most annoying to his enemies. These are some good, he's going to be taking these as pluses, I'm pretty sure. As we see the odds on the screen here for EGB, I think this is the closest we've ever seen the odds today, between the 2 teams, one clear favorite. It's not clear cut between the both of them. And like you were saying about Hydra having, looking to get that good lane stage, in both games so far, the lane stage has been a major strength for Hydra here.
Yeah, the reason I'm favoring Hydra, if we can put it that way, is because they have such a good lineup to collapse onto Team Spirit, right? And that has been their biggest strength throughout this series, the ability to force Spirit into an unfavorable fight and just run them down. And this time around, you don't have an anti-mage to fall back on.
No, that is a big factor coming into this, and we see already the hooks coming through here. Level 2 though, the cookie comes up from Mira. Happy's still gonna be able to get first blood. He just dives into Crystal Maiden's weights and arms here, and Kami, he's gonna be fine. Level 2 now, so that rock does come through, and this lane just got a hell of a lot harder for the side of Team Spirit.
Yep, level 2 Crystal Maiden, probably the strongest hero in the game on level 2, and if you do not have yours, you're in trouble. Plus, Shaker needs level 3 for the hero really to pack a punch. I expected him to start off with the Enchant Totem, to be honest, just to be able to apply pressure early on and get the enemies low before they get their level 2.
Yeah, this time though, not going to be able to take over top lane. Miposhka is going to get low as you get the damage onto Leftyton. Leftyton's going to be low now as well, but using one of the branches as well as the Tango, that's going to offer a hell of a lot of regen. Got to salve if he needs it too. So what does he want to take? Level 2, I assume it's just going to be the Thunder Strike onto Miposhka, but for now he is holding the point just in case.
He gets nothing, right? You just wait if you see that some of the spells. Okay, actually he does get the Thunder Strike. He did wait in game number 1, so I thought he was gonna do it again. He might have overplayed his cards now though.
Axes fly through them. Rapachka's got to be careful himself. The glimpse onto Yatoro. So Yatoro not going to be able to get the damage for the kill. And again, Disruptor, he has to salve. He's going to be able to pop it. And all of a sudden, he's back to full health. 3 mangoes. That's full mana there as well for him. Disruptor, he's going to be fine without having to go back to base.
This is the top lane, you know. Some of the Aui's words from his famous YouTube videos where he's explaining the drafts might be echoing throughout our viewers there a little bit. Though before that, we are going to be seeing Rapachka go down. But what he did say is that, well, you pick up a counter for a hero, but the thing is, this guy has played the matchup so many times, you haven't played it that many times. And that's why Cloud, even against the Enchantress, he's crushing the lane.
Yeah, at least Mira will be able to get something back here. Yo, just rubbing it in, taking half the heroic fury away from him. We did already have the items though, so again, you just got to watch those angles, because Happy just trying to set up for the purge, feeding all those body parts and get that fleshy pretty massive. So and what does Spirit, I mean, because this looks like pretty much H3 lane here for Hydra, so how can Spirit answer back, or did he not answer back in the laning stage? Is it going to come down to like the mid-late game fights that we could deal with this purge?
That's probably gonna be the case, right? But Warwick in the mid lane is in trouble.
Yeah, he might go down actually. There's no mana left here on the Snapfire, and the cooldown's come through. Just denies himself to the neutral.
It wasn't on screen. The observer didn't get there in time, but he dodged the swashbuckle so well. If he hadn't dodged that one, that would have been a kill 100% for Laurel, and then he would have just continued farming this way. He just takes away both the gold and the experience away from his opponents.
Look at this out counting. He's going to be able to get the hook back now as well. The frostbite comes out, works. The damage from the Crystal Nova as well, the cookie, but it sends Collapse over Kami, and Kami just goes, okay, I'm going to come back in. The rock comes through. Collapse trying to do what he can with the enchant totem, but another frostbite, and Kami should be able to get this kill. Yes, he was going to be going away with Happy. Where's that hook? 1 second away from Mira. He's just waiting for Happy to walk out of it. Mira's gone. Frostbite comes through. Yeah, it was clever trying to get behind that range creep. But with the Frostbite, Kami can just walk up and get another kill. 3 stacks already on the fleshy.
Yeah, but Team Spirit, they're striking on other lanes. Not in the mid lane, though.
Taking the top lane, yeah, but Law's in trouble in this mid lane because Lexington rotates in. You get the Vortex back. One more right click. Warwick, he takes him down 5-1 in the first 5 minutes of the game here for Hydra.
I don't know if Hydra are this genius or they're sometimes getting a bit lucky, because Warwick, he cancels out the shield crash from the Pango. The damage reduction probably would have allowed him to survive, but because he pulled him back before he hit the ground, no damage reduction for you, and then he's an easy kill.
Listen, if I've learned one thing, and I've probably only ever learned one thing, but if you listen to like poker players and you listen to like people that play, you know, games of chance, stuff like that, they do say luck is a skill. You know, you have to make it work for you to get it right. And meanwhile, the glimpse comes through onto Lol. Warwick, he's going to be slowed down by the enchant, but the Vortex comes through now as well onto the Acorn. He's carrying on getting the kill. Goes on Swashbuckle. It is going to be in range, and Lol will be able to get the kill. Leffington at least going to get the deny here onto the Arcane Rune, but he will go down himself.
These Spirit are really trying here to kill the Storm before he gets level 6, and this time around they do manage to do it. And Team Spirit now, they didn't only strike in the mid lane, but in the bottom lane as well. So a couple of nice kills going their way.
Yeah, I mean, while that's happening, you see that to be set up, Mira might actually look for the cookie, but Kami, he's a pretty tanky boy, and he's got himself that ring of, you know, he's got him the phase boots and ring of protection coming up now as well. Just gonna go straight into the Ags. Top lane though, Yatoro taking some damage from those axes, and it looks like 4 heroes on the side of Team Spirit. They are gonna be moving down, and it doesn't look like Hydra. They have an idea this is happening. From that they went.
Yeah,
they're
they're gonna understand.
Yeah, the Centaur Stomp, and that's gonna be the death of the Crystal Maiden, but anything to back up Kami. Kami trying to do what he can and collapse here. He gets the kill, but with the vision coming through now as well, Rolling Thunder will be coming to an end. 4 heroes here, and Kami, he's just surviving. Where's he's gonna come from? He's doing the damage now as well. He will go down. The Collapse taking some tower shots now as well. Lol gets low. If there was a TP in, potentially they could have got a couple of kills from that.
Well, no one wanted to. A Storm didn't have a TP, and you know, if you're a Beastmaster, you're not going for that one. They actually, no one could have gotten there. With the Storm not having a TP, it was pretty much certain they're not gonna be defending him.
Yeah, Disruptor's was on cooldown. I thought he would walk back to the lane, but no, he TP'd back up to help out the Beastmaster. So yeah, no TPs were actually available there to help Kami out.
Now the laning stage has turned on its head just towards the end of it. Team Spirit have been able to get some of the key kills, and it all started with that storm kill in the mid lane before he gets level 6. Miposhka really going for that one super hard. In the end, it works out and creates so many opportunities for Team Spirit.
Warwick, the glimpse comes out that Warwick still needs to walk himself out. We're not safe just yet. He finds a Reaper. Of course he finds a regen rune. Why wouldn't he find a regen rune?
You said that you make your own luck, so that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he willed it into existence there now, and Yatoro, you can see, has to move back behind the tier 1 tower as Warwick is trying to use this regen rune, find some more creeps, find some more benefit from it until the Beastmaster's level 6 as well. There's going to be a roar available. If you want to go onto Yatoro now as well, Yatoro trying to use the attribute chip, then the strike coming through. There is going to be some teammates rotating over, but are they going to be in time here? Yatoro, and you can see that the Beastmaster here just holding that roar just in case there's a TP out, something like that onto Yatoro. Help is gone because the glimpse comes out now as well. There's going to be the roar. Do they have the damage to take him down though? Rolling Thunder. Cloud could be in a little bit of trouble. The Remnant is going to pop, but it's not going to be affecting him well. Now back behind that tier 1 tower. See that Yatoro just trying to do what he can on Cloud. He's going to go down. Well, he did eventually find it, but Kami on the bottom lane takes down Collapse.
Yeah, Kami has been continuing to bully Collapse, but that top lane, really Yatoro, the way that he approached that one, just staying next to the tower, ring around the Rosie, and waiting for his team, understanding that if he survives long enough, he can bait the enemies into a bad position. In the end, it does turn out that way as well. So, you know, both of the offlaners die, but it was Hydra that were making a longer move.
Dire's bottom
Mira
tower
with
is
the
under
confidence, just tree blocks. It wasn't on the camera. Yes, that was so close. And Kami though, he's gonna be able to find these stacks. There's 3 heroes stacking up on the side of Hydra, looking maybe to go for another dive. But again, you've got the attribute shift onto Yatoro. Do you have the lockdown? The Axis, the Remnant. He's gonna go for the waveform. The glimpse back though into connected field. Doesn't have a lot of mana left now. Well, is this gonna be enough to get the kill onto Yatoro this time? In the trees, the Axis fly through. Warwick will be able to pick up the kill. So really well done this time on the side of Hydra. The hook comes back, and they're even going to be able to on the bottom lane. Mira's going to get loaded. Watch, chase down the old face boots. Now even using the freezing field Collapse. Does he give himself part of this damage? It's going to be enough to happy that, yeah, they're going to have to stack it up. Collapse goes down. Kami is going to go for the TP. The damage, though, is he going to be up from the edge? It's not.
He does get himself out. That was close for Hydra, but in the end, they get everything they wanted. They got a kill on the top lane. They got kills on the bottom lane and the tower as well, opening it up for Cloud. The game is not going to be opened up for him as early as it was in game number 1, but this is still going to be nice for Cloud, considering that Team Spirit did pick the counters for Beastmaster, and he gets his map to open up. This is great. He might not be as strong as he was in the previous match that he played the Beastmaster, but he is still going to be giving the things that the Beastmaster should, and that is control of the top parts of the map.
And yeah, you can see that Leppington just taking this time as well to push in with the catapult wave to put pressure onto that tier 1 tower while Warwick was moving through. The jungle looking for the farm. And yeah, Stone Spirit going for a little bit different build in this one. He wants to go into the Sanjin Kaya, so that's sustaining the damage scale there as well. Kami on the bottom lane. Do you actually make the move? Because you look at the TP in. And now the video is really nice. Through now as well. The TP from the Stone Spirit, the dive on the back line to Echo. What an Echo! They do get the kill onto Kami. But can they get any more out of this as well? It looks like Warwick.
No mana.
Dive away, but Happy He's going to be taking damage now as well. And yeah, they will get the kill. Mira with the cookie. And Happy will be the next target.
He's so slow.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Swift as the Wolves of Ice Rack, because the Wolves of Ice Rack are frozen solid. Can't move.
That is true, and yeah, that was just a beautiful echo coming up from Collapse. And you can see, even though he has had the worst laning stage of his life, possibly, and the worst 12 minutes, I'd say, he still gets a beautiful echo that keeps the storm in place for quite some time. It takes some damage, and then he can go for the chase down. Kami makes his presence known just before the tower falls. This is dangerous.
Yeah, he has to back himself away from this one. There is still 3 heroes here from the side of Team Spirit, so Kami just has to leave, and he's getting so close to that Axe as well. With the gold that he's got, he's about halfway done, so he just needs to find this one, and he'll be able to get himself in. The disruption comes through, even gets himself a bounty rune, but again, has to be careful. There's 3-4 heroes making a move to him. Pudge, rolling Thunder. Well,
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's completely fine. And this is it. Once you get the Dagenham Scepter, even though you're not going to be looking for a fight, if Team Spirit decide to go for another dive on you, you're going to be dealing so much damage that they're actually all going to go down.
Yeah. And then, you know, you get your blink off, you get the initiation, you start off getting a jump onto Lol, you know, so we can't get the Rolling Thunder off, something like that, with the BKB as well. This purge is going to look incredibly scary, but we've already seen this Morphlin win at least once today. We've been going for a while, my mind's pretty fuzzy, but I know he's won at least one game, the Morphlin, and Yatra are looking to do it here in this third and final. So he's going to have some, he's going to go towards that Lincoln Sphere. He's going to be great at trying to deal with this Dismember coming out from the purge.
It's game one of this series. They had a Morphling and a Beastmaster and an Invoker trio core on the side of Hydra. So Hydra has won one on it. Team Spirit, not just yet. So we'll see. And Hydra are hunting for collapse yet again. They wanted that, though he did buy his Blink Dagger. So even if he dies here, it's not the biggest of deals.
No, it looks like, I mean, 4 heroes grouping up for this, and the Beastmaster at least being able to put the pressure on with his creeps and keep that lane pushed in here. So maybe Collapse feels like he needs to stick around to push it back out. The smoke down on Lal and Mira close to Leffington. Leffington smoke's about to wear off.
Attack.
So the big wraparound coming here from Spirit. What can they actually find with this?
No,
they're baiting on Collapse, and Collapse, he needs to be a bit greedy because his levels are very low. Considering that he has 3 points in Enchant Totem, it's going to take some time before he's back in the game. But, you know, getting a kill on Cloud is going to be a big one.
All the multi-kisses are going to be dropped here now. Cloud picking himself out. They're not going to be, or they are going to be connecting now. And yeah, Cloud, he should go down. One more swashbuckle, 2 seconds, 1 second. And this is just going to be, he goes down. Shield crack is the one to finish off and get it. But it did buy some time for the side of Hydra to rotate in. So if they want to go for a gank, go for a kill. They could dive, but it is 4 heroes that are going to be diving on.
It's dangerous. Happy is not in a good position.
He is not. Look how quickly he loses his life. So he's on that crucial field. Everyone's like he gets a kill off the Crystal Maiden. And Warwick will be able to take down the Ancient Revenge.
He can fight them with his AD.
No, that's
Does he
more
want
like
to,
it.
though? He's not got a lot of mana left. It looks like he's just going to be, you know, more comfortable dipping out.
Coward. Just kidding. Yeah, he kills Mira, but the thing is that Collapse probably finishes him off, and it's not worth the risk. It's a low reward, high risk play.
And again, while this is happening, though, you are buying time for the push to get closer and closer.
Dire's bottom
He has
tower
it.
is under
Oh, he
attack.
has it? Oh, that's quite nice. There.
Big thing for Hydra is that the Storm is having a good game, right? In this game, there is really not a lot that you have to deal with the Storm, especially once he gets his BKB, or it seems like Sanj and Kai will be the way to go. Considering that you're playing against a lot of consecutive stuns, you don't want to be stunned up from 100 to 0. So as Kaya is probably the better way to go about it.
Yeah, and he does have that. He's going to go back to the Witchblade as well, so he gets that Kaya out just again for that little bit of scaling damage to come through. He's going to be fine with, and then right back into this Witchblade. So, and I mean, like you've talked about before, great attack animation onto the Storm Spirit. Does a decent amount of right click damage as well. And the attack speed being boosted up by this Witchblade, it's a lot of what the Storm Spirit needs to be able to dominate through this mid game. And Happy gets low, but Cammy was waiting for someone to come forward to try and finish that kill and look for that hook.
This Alpha Wolf is biting into the Crystal Maiden, barely survives there, but it is going to be fine. Now, with Warwick having the Aegis, the only thing he wants right now is level 12, because that increases your speed of Ball Lightning quite a lot, and that is when you're going to strike. So Team Spirit, for the next 5 minutes, are going to be in trouble. To be honest, I would even use an Echo the next round of ultis onto the Storm Spirit just to kill that Aegis, because with it, if he's the one that's initiating, that means the Team Spirit are very likely losing the fight.
Yeah. He's not going to be, in fact, he has that level 12 now as well, so popping this illusion room, maybe just doing a bit of scouting with it, might even be able to bait out a couple of spells. Yeah, going to be seen by Mimposhka, but how quickly it disappears with the impetus. Not going to be fooled. It does mean that they find a ward. They get the T1 off now as well. Rolling Thunder comes out. There's going to be the roar. Most of the kisses are going to be dropped. Leffington maybe trying to drop some left field stuff to stop before he goes down. In fact, he tries to go, but the rest of the jump in on Warwick. He will go down.
He's too deep.
Do we have the lockdown in time? They have it. But is it going to be able to get the kill to the Storm Spirit? It absolutely is.
He was wasn't the one initiating, and Happy thinks he's gonna be TPing away, and now Collapse Shaker, who's having a bad game, gets 2 kills and is starting to crawl back into the Storm that was having the best game, is now 1,000 gold, even more behind the Morphling. So all this kind of a dive can cost you. This was the timing for Hydra, and that's why they went so aggressively. But you're going without your strongest hero, the Pudge, because he's still farming, and you're diving a tier 2 17 minutes in without any chances of winning that fight. So really an overextension from Hydra, and they're gonna pay because of it. On the other hand, though, their lineup is important for their lineup to keep up the pressure, but Team Spirit have been keeping up in terms of positioning for a very long time. Right now they are slowing down the game.
Yeah, big dive in here from the Storm Spirit, who's gonna help follow him up now as well. What's he gonna do? He's gonna have to get a kill into Collapse. The Cookie comes out this time. Warwick doesn't overextend. He's kind of learned his lesson here.
Yeah, if he had one more hero there, maybe TP to the outpost, maybe he decides to go forward, but here it was way too dangerous, and he made a mistake. He zipped in and he didn't attack. He zipped in and then he pulled Collapse and then attacked, and that's a lot of damage being thrown away.
Yeah, and I suppose he just wants to make sure. I mean, yeah, you do try to make sure, but the ball lining would have been enough to cancel off the Blink Dagger now. He's not going to be too far away from that Witchblade. It is going to be what looks like the Sange then into the Axe here for Warwick, though. So he does want to help set up for the Pudge, just be able to dive in and get the rot off onto everybody.
Late game for Hydra is good, but it is good once Team Spirit lose the BKB charges in the Morphling. So, you know, if you are not forcing out those fights, once the Morphling gets the BKB, you're going to be in a ton of trouble later on in the game.
Yeah, we'll see here if the Pudge wants to dive in. I mean, there's the Cookie here for Mira. He's got no BKB, so this Dismember can be interrupted. The Cookie comes through, and Mapodka, he's still going to go down, and Kami picks up the kill. Gets himself his 8th Flesh Heap stack of the game, and it will allow Hydra a little bit of space just to put the pressure onto this tier 2 tower.
That's quite a lot. He's actually very fat on the Pudge. You know, you don't have a lot of armor, but you're probably going to build into it after the BKB, and once you get a lot of armor with this amount of HP, even the Morphling isn't going to be that much of a threat to you.
Radiant structures
and
are fortified.
how is Yatoro doing on the Morph? Like you say, he's building towards that BKB, not going to be too far away here. Once that Windlacer come out as well, it seems like. But for the minute, he has only got 2 parts of this BKB. Still about 800 gold away from completing on it.
Well, you know, he is going for an Axe at some point, so he's going to be taking away status resistance from the Pudge. Imagine Pudge with 40% of his status resistance taken away. The stuns from the Shaker, they're going to last forever.
True, they absolutely are here, but it looks like... Do they actually get the jump onto Yatoro if the smoke breaks here? Kami. The hook gets the drag back into kinetic field. A lot of Lincolns doesn't really matter. Do get the one to get the kill on the ribbon now as well, and Warwick's going to be able to get the kill onto Mira. It will cost him his life. Collapse, though. TP is going to be cancelled by the Glimpse, and Kami was that Blink Dagger 3 seconds away, and Collapse with the Enchant Totem trying to do some damage to Leffington, but there is going to be kinetic field now as well. The boss fight comes out.
Tower is under attack.
And he snipes it with the Axis.
No, why not? You know, cut him down. He's the Beastmaster, and this guy's a cow. It does make sense. Either way, though, Warwick, he did not expect the Shaker to do so much damage. Once he gets the BKB and the shard, the damage output, that solo kill potential is going to be there even more. So the Storm really needs that Sange as fast as possible, because he doesn't have any HP items, and that is just what's allowing the Shaker to catch him.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got enough gold as if he wants for the Ogre Axe, which he does buy out. So he's going to be about 1,000 gold away from fully completing the Sange and Kaya, which, you know, if he keeps in this pace, if he finds this farm, it shouldn't be too far away from him now, maybe before this next fight breaks out.
Team Spirit, they're approaching their BKB on the Morphling. Then again, the Pudge is approaching his BKB. Spirit are gonna have it earlier, so they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be going for a smoke first. And it's gonna be very important that that one is successful, because if not, and Hydra get their BKB on the Pudge as well, Pudge with the BKB is pretty much untouchable.
Yeah, and I mean, he's what, still about 1,600 gold away from finishing off. Yeah, you know, he's got enough for the recipe if he wants it, but he still needs to go for the Mithril Hammer. But he's still a big tanky boy here with really only the Aghanim set to really boost him up.
Yep. I mean, 10 flash keeps is nothing to laugh at. Those do stack up. But we'll see once the Morphling gets the Aghanims and starts taking his stats. It might just work against him.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see Yatoro here. He's got that BKB flying out to him now as well, so that's going to be a nice time, just as it looks like they're going to try and engage. Warwick, he's close. He just needs the recipe gold for the Sanj as well, so maybe Hydra just keep the distance until maybe either the Sanj comes out or the BKB hit the Pudge.
Team Spirit, they have the BKB on the Morph, they have the smokes ready, and they are probably going to be going for that one. They're also going to have the Echo Slam in a couple of seconds, so they're more than ready to go for an engagement.
Look at this though, the Stone Spirit is going to dive in onto Collapse. Do they have enough to get the kill off here, or does he have enough to get the kill onto Collapse? It looks like he's trying to dodge off the Fissure. One more likely Collapse. Oh, he's so low.
But he knows where the enemies are, and that's a lot of info for Hydra. So when you look at the map, Hydra are currently farming much more than their opponents. And, yeah, you know, Storm Spirit, he has a double damage. He tries to go for a kill. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough.
No, but it does send the Earthshaker all the way back to base here. Collapse didn't want to use that BKB until a fight breaks out. So, I mean, he needs to heal up. So that means he has to go all the way back to Fountain. No other way to really regen here, because it didn't look like Miposhka wanted to pop those nature attendants either.
Team Spirits are gearing up for a smoke, but it's taking a long time. You can see that Hydra are coming together. They've already farmed the entirety of the map, and now if they come together, hide behind their tier 2 and go for a smoke themselves, they're going to be in a better position. Considering the positioning of the lanes, Hydra really should not get caught off guard by this one.
No, this is the Sanjin Kaya for the Storm Spirit. It's 300 gold away, just under 300 gold away here for the BKB of the Pudge now. So if the smoke breaks, Happy's going to be the one to break it. Buzz goes down, immediately gets dewarded off. But it's the early one for Hydra, and now they know where they need to go to back away.
Nice one by Miposhka that he read that one, because as soon as their smoke breaks and no one is there, you have to understand that they were probably ready for it. So yeah, but they were ready for it on their own vision, not just randomly staying in the dark waiting for the enemies to know their positioning. So the second that the sentry comes out, they see a ward, they get themselves out. Nice call for Team Spirit, but Hydra are keeping themselves in it with these abilities to push out the waves with the Beastmaster. Spirit don't have anything to match that one, so that's why Hydra are currently ahead. You know, even though Team Spirit theoretically in a fight they could be stronger, but the question is, how do you get a better initiation? You're lacking in terms of vision, and in terms of lane outpush, Hydra are better there as well.
Yeah, and look who's back. It's going to be the big man in his pit, scouted out by the Pangolier illusion. Back again.
Okay.
Tell her, don't forget to tell a friend.
Okay, I will. And it's a 10-man smoke here right now. Who gets the better jump? Warwick? No, we cannot get caught.
He just waits, he gets blown up, but there's going to be the big jump in now from Kami. This is going to be his BKB. Yatoro, he actually steals the push for him. He cancels off the TP now as well. But Yatoro, he just drags Kami right back into it. But with more heroes being around, Kami will go down. And that was... I don't know what happened to the Soma, just comfortable to stand there. After his smoke breaks, Happy, the pitcher comes through the hook, drag back. And this is going to be death for Crystal Maiden as well.
Warwick just cost them everything, right? They had the lead, they have better vision, they have everything, and he just walks to the low ground and stands there, like literally zones out completely. And
Radiant's top tower.
his teammates, I mean, they all pay the price, because, you know, if he dies, the enemies are getting Roche. You have to do something about it. But then again, it just ends up being an even worse disaster for them. The game has broken, but it looked like it was going to be in favor of Hydra, but it will go in favor of Spirit.
Yeah, Miposhka now getting the chase down onto Lefington as well. A lot of damage, one more into the strike, but it looks like Lefington will be able to get himself away from this mid-roach. This is a shard as well here. So it looks like, did he give it over to Lol, or maybe even Yatoro? It looks like Yatoro is going to be one to get the shard.
That's more like it.
Oh, Warwick, I saw him literally go for like gulp. You know, it's you can see that he's not happy about what he just done, and hopefully everybody on the team stayed silent. Would just say, okay guys, keep it cool, we'll still have a chance here, because those kind of plays can break a team that is not experienced, and Hydra still falls into that category.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough road back here for Hydra, because I mean that was the BKB being revealed from the Pudge. The Storm Spirit, again, that's Sanjin Kaya, that it just, well, it didn't have the impact that he thought it was going to have, being locked down by 4 heroes. And Yeah, now that Spirit have this Aegis, you know, they have the momentum in their favor as well.
And you could see that Collapse now he knows about the sand, but I think he didn't know at that point. But still, he just got in and he started spamming his spells. He did not care to like wait to perfectly lock him down because they knew we killed this guy and it's over. The fight is done. We have won, and that's exactly what he went for. Because if you wait for Shaker to go for your perfect stuns, you can actually make a mistake against the Sanjin Kaya, and he might get the zip away.
Yeah, and so what can Hydra do here to get themselves back into it? Is it just gonna...
like it.
Yeah. Okay, right. 1k gold lead. It's not that big of a deal. They're still the ones that are controlling the top part of the map. They have the outpost. They have the tier 2. And it's actually Spirit that in terms of tier 2s need to get themselves back in the game. So it's just that the game has broken their way for the next 5 minutes because of the Aegis. They are the ones controlling everything and currently standing on top of a hawk. So Hydra knows everything that's going on.
Okay, and we see the dive away here from Warwick. I like that the Pudge went immediately after he gets the BKB, just goes straight for that flame nail. Like you said, he needs that arm. The driver comes onto the point. So the enemy starting this off quite well with a kill onto and taking down the Enchantress. Cookie on the spot though. The jump up the back line. You can get a chain one. And later starts the zone comes out. They have a lockdown. They have the kill. The BKB is going. They're going to have to clean up onto this. And Hydra, they take 3.
The gem. They got 3 in the gem. They saw Collapse on the bottom lane. He's the main teamfight hero for Team Spirit, and Miposhka showed himself in the mid lane. He just wanted to pull the wave back, right? Towards the jungle, towards the high ground. But Hydra were ready. Immediately blink, immediately jump with the storm as well. And that's a dead hero. When you start off with that one and there's also a gem on the ground, Team Spirit get baited into a bad position.
Oh, well. Well. That is it. I immediately answered my own question. What Hydra needed to do to get some momentum back, and that was taking down 3 heroes. The target acquisition there as well, from jumping on to taking down the Enchantress and immediately being able to get the blink forward and take down the Pangolier as well. You know, and then the cookie. I mean, it was a bit unlucky here for Miri. Tried to cookie, but he was still in the kinetic field, so he literally just hops on the spot, and then the jump came through from Hydra, and they were able to take him down easy.
I beg to differ. He used the cookie into the kinetic field towards the enemies, not away from the enemies. So he was getting closer. Even if he would pick up that gem, he still dies and just closer to the enemies. So either way, it would have ended up in his demise. Just kind of looks silly when you're just hitting your head onto the wall. But these Spirit, they're not done. They're going for a smoke. They still have the Aegis. They are still stronger.
Yeah, while this is going on, you can see that Leviton actually uses the static storm to push out the lane. So helping, I guess, the Beastmaster, I don't know, apply pressure. That was a bit of a straight. Yeah, no. I mean, he does still have that Aegis. His teammates aren't too far behind. So plus pressure onto the tier 2. Yeah, Mira now he's going to be on the Lincoln Sphere, and he was broken back behind that tier 2 tower and couldn't even get the Glimmer Cape onto there. That is going to be the death of the Snapfire.
Mira hates the Disruptor for sure, right? He has been in his backside quite a lot here. That's why he played it in the previous game. Didn't want to give it to Hydra, but Hydra can just utilize this hero quite well.
Yeah, and the Pudge, looking at the item coming out here, it's going to be the Shivas, so that's going to be even more disruption on top of the rot. And he's only about 1,000 gold away from picking it up, you know, and the way that Kami's farming, you know, he's a bit behind the Morphling, but he's still having a really damn good time in this game.
And even more heal reduction for the Morph, even more heal reduction for the Enchantress. That is huge. If they get this Morphling's BKB down to low charges, it's going to be big. And pretty much only 8 seconds is being counted as a huge charge. 7 is already low.
The break, the Lincoln's kinetic field comes out. Static zone's going to be there. Is it going to be any follow-up from
7 seconds?
No, it looks like they're waiting out. Yeah, they're trying to wait out there just to get the kill to the Pangolier on the back lines. And now the dive comes through Yasuo, though. Going to use that BKB. Was that blink away? They don't have a roll. Was the blink go from the Pudge? Wasn't able to get it to get the Dismember. And at least they get the kill onto the Pangolier, though. And like you say, using another charge of the Morphling's BKB.
He had a Lincoln's. Pudge made a mistake there. He used the hook to kill the Pango. He thought he was not going to die to the damage, but I think he would have. Still, you don't want to risk it. And because of it now, he didn't have that one to cancel the TP of the Morphling. But it doesn't matter. You get a kill on the Pango, and you force out an 8-second BKB of the Morphling. This is a win for Hydra. Even though Spirit got a free fight there around the Roche and the Roche, they still haven't been able to capitalize on it.
And that's That's Shiva's gold here for the pudge. I think the recipe was on the curry, and the curry got killed. But
That's
he's
more
still got
like
the
it.
gold here for the missing stack. So once that courier
That's
comes
more
back in the
like
next
it.
40 seconds, you know, that is going to be another big item time. Like you were saying, the reduction onto the Molten or the Enchantress, being able to get the throws off so people can't run away from the rocks, it all just starts to stack up and build towards his way in these fights. And yeah, how do Team Spirit, because we've not seen many Mortimer Kisses, so are you looking for that, you know, that big jump in from the Earthshaker Echo Slam into the Fissure with those Mortimer Kisses raining down the Spirit to get back into this?
I mean,
more like it.
Collapse, I don't like it doesn't have the shard just yet. He went for a Shadow Blade, meaning that he is hunting for solo kills. He wants that big initiation, but I would have preferred if he played from the back and getting those fissures out, because we don't really see fissures being disruptive in the game here. Yeah, there it is. Collapse goes for the solo kill. At least it's gonna work out.
Just hit because he's going to drag back 3 heroes stacking up around him, and he's going to be dead.
If that was his
Radiant's
plan, it's a
middle
pretty shit
tower is
plan.
under
Though. Yeah. It wasn't. It probably wasn't. He wanted the kill. He
That's
thought he was
more
gonna
like
get out, but Storm is just too fast of a hero. You know, when you have the maxed out Ball Lightning, you're just so fast to go around the map, and he has an axe, so you don't really even need to get the click onto the enemy. Just be in range of the Electric Vortex.
That's it. Collapse calculated it, but boy, is he bad at maths.
Yeah,
Because
true. He's good at calculating distance, not the speed of killing, I guess.
yeah, and yeah, so that opens up now again. He's going to be dead for 30 seconds, and that's
Radiant's top tower
it
is under
could be
attack.
the perfect timing for the next Roshan. It could be, as once again the Pudge actually went for a refresher before he finished off the Shivas.
Yeah, he just bought the double perseverance earlier. He feels like the Shiva is not needed just yet. And it actually is a late game item against the Morphling, to be honest. The armor is good enough.
The dive in, the double lockdown now as well. The Savannah going to quickly should be able to get the kill. Yatoro though, is he going to move the freezing field, comes through the cookie, and Yatoro with the BKB charge. That hook, it's not going to land. But again, a force out BKB from Yatoro.
He turns into the Pudge and he has 6k HP. You don't have that much damage, considering that most of your
That's
damage
more like
is
it.
magical. Well, going through 6,000 damage, good luck about that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, he's able to get himself away from it, and the
that's
rest of the
more
team
like
doing
it.
work as well. The cookie to try and break, you know, get the distance, and he was able to just
Dire
BKB
are
and then
scanning.
get himself away. But again, 30 seconds now, but 30 seconds for real before the Roshan is back up. And how are these BKBs? 47 seconds on the Pudge. Stone Spirit doesn't have one. I'm checking it. 42 seconds on the Beastmaster here as well. So, meanwhile, on the other side, the Morphlin
Radiant
has
are
his own
scanning.
BKB, 40 seconds cooldown on that. Pango didn't use his, and Earthshaker has one up as well. So these are going to be good timings just as the Roche comes back up.
The big problem for Spirit is, one, they don't have any save heroes. Two,
That's
they
more
don't have a
like it.
frontliner. And that is going to become very much apparent once the Disruptor gets the Aghanim Scepter. He's halfway there. He needs 2,000 gold more. So that is an item that you don't want to see on equal footing if you're Team Spirit. But because in that kind of scenario where the Morphling is in the mid lane, he dies 100%.
Yeah, and it looks like here, Spirit, they are stacking up around the outpost. Do they go for a smoke gank? Because, I mean, Hydra, they're already making a move over to this side of the map. And it looks like Spirit, did they group up for this? They're looking for somewhere they have vision where they can go for that smoke if they want to. Without being seen, in fact, no smoke comes out. Just the rotation
more
of
like
Spirit, the
it.
group up.
Now that's more like
He
it.
wanted to hook the Hill Troll with the Pudge, and he hooked the Hawk from the Beastmaster. He's gonna be very sad about that one. And we are having some FPS issues here on the Hydra side. Still, you know, Dire side, it is Team Spirits. They might have lost their tier 2 without claiming the enemies, but they are holding the outpost. The problem for Spirit is they don't have a single buyback, and buybacks before Roche fights are very important, especially heroes like a Storm, who once they buy back and come back into the fight will just decimate everybody.
Yeah, true. How much gold? I mean, it is gold timings for everybody. I mean, Collapse does have his. But like you say, the Storm Spirit, the Disruptor, the Crystal Maiden on the side of Hydra, all three of these heroes have the buybacks now. And gold-wise, it is still going to be a ways away for the Beastmaster as well as the Pudge. So we'll see the smoke coming through from 3. Are they actually going to be able to find the jump? Nope, the blink dagger away from the Beastmaster. So he is, those spidey senses are tingling.
And they're gonna reveal themselves for the 250 gold of the ancient black dragon. But you know, Cloud is just gonna be getting another one. He has to enjoy the company of his overlord creeps before the enchantress gets level 20.
Damage!
True. And like you say, the scepter is there from the Storm Spirit, so the Storm Spirit gets a good dive in around the Roach Pit. It could be a decent amount of lockdown from now that Steam Spirit have to deal with here. The Lords do go down. Yatoro shifts himself into the punch form once again. Not going to be able to find anyone with that hook.
Max agility, he has
That's
3k
more like
HP.
it.
That's a little bit not fair, right? Would you say so? And he cannot get stunned. It's like he constantly has 40%. Oh, he even has the Titan Sliver, so scratch that. He has even more status resistance. What is
Yeah,
37%?
a major reduction in with that status resistance coming out. So I suppose they do have to wait for this punch form to be over and punch to get his stats back.
Without it, he's just not as powerful. Now he has 3000 HP, but if you take away 20% of his strength, well, it's not even close to that number.
Yeah. The Beastmaster went back, we've not spoken about this, but the Beastmaster went back to the Octarine core, which brings the raw cooldown down to 40 seconds. Now, if you're starting the fight with that raw, and the fight, you know, fight takes about, what, 20, 30, 40 seconds. If someone looks to re-engage, or the Beastmaster's looking for a chase, that raw is going to be available, and he's going to be able to get it off twice in a fight.
Yeah, that would be pretty major if that does happen. Right now, everything is happening around this Roche. Both of the teams are trying to farm their buybacks, and I think players would be crazy if they just buy out an item. Even Kami buying out his Shiva, I would recommend it. Buybacks are much more important now.
Yeah, and he's about 800 gold, 900 gold away from having buyback, so it is close, but not there just yet. Beastmaster about 50 gold away as well, so he should have this off this next campaign. Yeah, you can see the furthest one away is going to be the Morphin on about 1500 gold before he's going to be able to have that buyback.
He bought a Crystallis. Crystallis is definitely a major item for him because you do need those crits to be able to bring people down. Currently, its Spirit have magical damage and Morphling right clicks, and that Crystallis increases its right clicks by, you know, maybe 30%. So that is a lot of damage influx for their physical damage part.
Yeah, just checking around as well on the side of Hydra. Nobody has the boots of travel. So I was just thinking about, you know, with everything being about around this road pit from both teams, I would, if there was some boots of travel up, you know, you can see the Beastmaster maybe pushing up, putting pressure onto the bottom tier 2, and then looking, you're leaving a Hawk for him to TP into to get involved in the fight. So, you know, something like this. But the creep wave on the bottom lane is pushing in. The Morphlins are away from this Roach Pit as well. Obviously won't be scouted out from Hydra, but it's still... teams, look at the odds again coming down. I mean, Hydra Spirit are still the favorites in this game, but Hydra, it is close. It's not, you know, there's not a massive gulf between the two teams.
Dota Plus win probability is over 60% for Hydra. Dota Plus understands what's up. This time around, Hydra are going to be getting the creep out of the Roach Pit. Last time, Kami, he cooks the Hawk, and then the next time, there is a mud golem in it, so he kills it, but there's still 2 of them left. Now, finally, they're gonna get the Spirit Vision out of there. Mira, he might need to start with the ulti here if they want to see what's going on.
He's coming with the Vision now as well, but he's going to dive onto the back lines while the Lotus comes out, and that might actually try to get himself out of this. The Lincoln's on top of him here as well, the Hawk's diving, but it does only break the Lincolns on the snap point. Oh, that hook was so close to collapse as well.
He didn't listen to what his hero was saying, because usually, the punch usually goes like rah or something along those lines when he misses the hook, and they went for the dust either way, hoping that he did catch someone.
Radiant are scanning.
I suppose the big thing as well is Cloud. If he's got these Hawks coming through, you know, if there's no... we'll come back to this. If they get the dive on, and everything I was saying is now inconsequential because Cloud has gone down, so Kami has to move away from these Mortimer Kisses. There is still that buyback for the Beastmaster though. Let's see. Get himself back into this and dive on the back lines into the Vortex as well. There's be a real nice dismember the hooks. Nice save, though. He saves it. Cloud gets himself back into this now, and Kami is moving so on, and Kami's going to go down. Do you get the kill onto Lexington there as well? So Miro, with that 3G build, Miro will go down. Down to the hooks. Yatsu is still in that pistol. He's getting them back. He get the buyback out from the Buzzing Storm Spirit. Everybody from the side of Hydra, they don't want to be giving this one up now as well, but they take that Lexington once again. That's the dieback on the Disruptor, and Yatsu, what can he do? The hook, it's going to be blocked mid hook. This is the dive back into Cloud. Cloud, can he get himself away from this one? Still being harassed by Collapse. One more right click, he goes down. That is going to be the Beastmaster dead for 115 seconds. And now the chase is on for the rest of the side of Hydra.
This Aghanims on the Morphling is just making him impossible to deal with. First of all, they use the little shredder on the Pudge to get rid of his armor. He has solid amounts of it, but it is just not enough. And then Yatoro just destroys him, and he knows that he can stand his ground because he cannot be stunned. He cannot be stunned. How do you stun water? Well, you don't. And now, I mean, it's Hydra used every single one of their buybacks and still lost that fight. Like, significantly lost that fight. It is insane how much of a win for Team Spirit that is. The game was even, now it's 20k gold.
Yeah, this is where Team Spirit can take an advantage where Collapse. Okay, no, he just bought that. You know, the buyback is there for Yatoro. Yatoro has his, the Aegis onto Lal as well, so there is an abundance of lives here on the side of Team Spirit. If they can take some good, a good fight inside Hydra's base, you know, I mean, the Cloud still is up to 50 seconds, so they still have that movement advantage when Collapse gets back here. And they could try and force us out. It looks like they are going to try and force us out. The backline dive, though. The Storm Spirit is out of mana, has to get himself back into the fountain to heal it up and get that mana back.
Collapse is back now, so if the Storm makes a mistake, he can get stunned up by the Fisher, and then it's the end of him.
Yeah, and look at this. Team Spirit, they're just pushing through onto the base, and I don't know how Hydra pushed him back here.
You try to kill the creeps and the Storm is going for it. Okay. Yeah. Actually, doesn't the Morphling have enough damage to go through backdoor? He's not even gonna attempt it.
No, they just shift targets, move themselves up to the top lane, and look to push down onto this tier 2 tower on the top.
It is just a big hit when you bought back 5 heroes. The enemies, if I remember correctly, they bought back on 2. It's Laurel and Mira that got back into that fight. So they have 3 buybacks, they have the Aegis, they have the cheese, they have so many more lives more than you, right? 3 buybacks, and so they have 10 heroes on Spirit, and you just have 5 if you're Hydra. Plus, you're now 22,000 gold behind, and it just comes down to it. Team Spirit finding the better angle to join that fight, right? And once the Morphling gets a kill on Cloud, he needs some time to come back into it. He takes the Pudge form. That is how it's gonna go. Hydra, this is it. In Dota, you have to utilize every single one of your heroes, and if your strength is vision with the Beastmaster and you don't utilize that part of the hero, get caught off guard, it means that you're most likely going to be losing the fight, and that was a pretty big loss.
Yeah, and would you prefer here, I mean, the Shivas, before he went for the refresher, it was a good idea for Kami, but would you have preferred like a Shivas into a Linken's instead of this refresher for the Pudge?
A Shivas maybe over the refresher, but at the time it seemed like a good move. It really did seem like a good move. It looked like Leviathan was going to be finishing off his Aghanims and everything's going to be working out, but then the game just came down to a stalemate.
You know, at least he has the Aghanims out now for the Disruptor. So we'll see what they can do again. The Aegis is on the Pandalier, and maybe this is going to be Hydra. I mean, if they go down, everybody doesn't have a buyback available. You know, either bought out or it's on cooldown. So this could be do or die time for Hydra because they are losing their base, and if they lose their lives as well, Spirit will just be able to finish this game off.
You kill the Yatoro and you're winning the fight because he's the main damage and the main damage. He DP's out, so without it, this is going to be an easy one for Hydra.
We do get the roar onto the Pandalier now as well. Do they have enough to take him down twice? That Aegis is still there. But you want to maybe try and go for the refreshing corner.
That's running back.
Oh, no, the Static Storm coming out now as well. They've got the lockdown on Wow. He's going to come down now to the Vortex Strike back by the Storm Spirit. Being broken by that Dark Force. And even Happy using the freezing peel just to make sure there was no follow-up from that. And that is going to be the Pandalier dead for now for the next 110 seconds.
That's more like
that DP from the Morphling towards the bottom lane. He thought his teammates could stay alive, but with the Aghanim Scepter of the Disruptor, it's just not possible, and he's the one with the Lincoln, so no one there to stop the Dismember and the Roar. I guess Lotus Orb is fine, but it is just not as good.
Yeah, and that was the reveal there as well of that Aghanim Scepter, so maybe they weren't expecting it, and it was a great jump from Hydra to be able to claim that kill. The issue is now they've lost 2 lanes of racks. They've got a tier 2 tower still standing. It's been a long day. Tier 2 tower still standing in the mid lane as well. If they leave their base for any amount of time, these lanes will be pushing in. So Hydra, what is the game plan for them now?
I mean, the game plan is the same now. You finally do have a way to kill the Morphling, right? Even if he turns into a Pudge inside of the Static Storm, if he doesn't get his BKB off, he will die. So that is what you're gunning for. You want to get on top of the Morphling and use everything on him. Once that happens, test the waters. If he's buying back, you're running away like hell. If not, then you're chasing forward.
Okay, and we'll see here. He's trying to use these illusions, it looks like, on the Pudge, but that is a big wave pushing in. And the Beastmaster, the Crystal Maiden, someone has to deal with this because that's not going to start pushing. So yeah, it looks like it is going to be. It's actually going to be Cam himself that moves himself over. Just immediately dealing with these catapults, comes in with a lot. Yeah, you see, he's healing himself up, just getting through and clearing through these creeps.
Team Spirit might have a big lead, but Hydra are close to being out of the worst position on in the game so far, because they are getting their buybacks back in 2 minutes. Collapse? Does he think he can go for this one?
Oh, Lefington was close as well. Lefington needs to leave. He needs to go for that TP out. And I get the idea, but it could be a bait on bait here.
This is Lefington we're talking about. He's not gonna do it.
He's hiding himself in the trees, but you know, this time the Morphling's going to show as well. Surely this is enough of a warning here, Lefington, that you group up with the rest of your team. Surely.
Look at his face. He's just like, oh, another day of doing my own thing. This is exactly what he always does. Is deep in enemy territory. Sometimes he gets caught. Most of the times he does create a lot of space, but dying at this point in the game, it would be a catastrophe for his team. Immediately, Spirit would be going high ground and finishing off the game. So I'm glad that he did DP back, because his death there would have been GG.
Yeah, and we can see that at least for the top lane, you know, it's being pushed out. The Thunder Hides here to back up the creep wave to push in. There is a hell of a lot of creeps pushing into this. Bottom lane, catapult coming through, but a couple of axes. In fact, he might even be able to get a jump. No, Miposhka, he's got a BKB of his own. That's going to be his first one, but it means it will be down now. A fight breaks out from the side of Hydra, and they want to go for a jump. Miposhka, no BKB left.
I imagine that one. Oh, we forced out the 9-second BKB. Let's go. But it's only a support. They're going for a smoke. They understand it's a small advantage, but it's an advantage nonetheless. And you want to be the one jumping at Toro. The problem is Yadoro has the ninja gear, so he's always in smoke. Very hard to find him, even though you do have a Beastmaster with better vision.
Yeah, oh, there's going to be a regen reveal here, though. This is going to be nice for the Storm. He's walking himself in, pops it off, doesn't have the portal in the slot to pick it up because he wants to be using this gem here, Warwick. So it is just going to be the regen. He gets a little bit of extra farm, and that means that he should have, he has the gold. He just needs to wait on the timer now for his buyback.
Storm is gonna have level 25. I'm curious to see what he gets. I guess having the shard, you get the overload attack bounce. It's the stronger one, but your heroes don't really attack all that much.
We'll see what actually they're going to be able to dive in. Kami, oh, at least he has that buyback now. Over there, the big dive in. Now the buyback is off after all. They get the kill onto the Morphling. He does have that buyback available. Chases on. This fight. Roll the hook. It's going to miss. Oh, close, but not hitting onto Miposhka now. And it looks like Hydra have to back themselves away as the Morphling will be able to get the boots to travel TP in. It looks like they want to go once again. Now this Static Storm being down. Can Hydra repel Spirit from their base?
They have a Storm Spray. They should be able to. You have the glyph maybe for this wave, and then you cut the next one while someone is dealing with the mid wave, and that should be enough to stay alive long enough for you to get another Static Storm.
Yeah, Frostbite onto Ench. Ench has that BKB back up now as well, so they'll be able to pop that if he gets into trouble. But they do, yeah, they push back, they repel the pushing from Spirit here. Oh, the drag. Did they get the kill onto the pocket? BKB. Dismember just to cancel off the TP now. From the pocket down to the low ground. Stones for it, dives in, dives back out, gets the kill. And that is going to be a fairly nice one, even if it is just a support, just to be able to put the advantage in your favor and push Spirit back once again.
Hydra have a win condition now with Yadoro not having his buyback. It is definitely win condition. I don't know if the Pudge dies, if it's the same, because these Spirit, a lot of their damage, if not most of it, is on the
comes back though inside the Static Storm mirror. He has that just going, and now if Silver actually dives a little bit further, the Thunder comes down. Miposhka, he's dove in. Yeah, they're going to be able to get the kill to the Storm for it. And the and now if Silver pushing down towards the first. Thunder comes out from the parking. He's dove in. Yeah, they're going to be able to get a kill into the storm for it. And they take down the Fudge. They're going to be able to catch him and cancel off the TP. He's going to be dead. Stormtrooper, he has brought back, and they've got no kinetic field, no stats storm. Like you say, they're even going to be able to go right down onto Cloud. Everybody inside of Hydra, they just overextended, and we praised them in the first game for respecting the power of team spirit here. But Hydra might have just lost the heads a little bit, and the buybacks, they're going to be forced out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to defend this base with the Fudge being down, with no static storm for the next 27 seconds. Spirit, what can he get from this? Though they're going to be able to get it. They take them down. The cookie comes out. The Yatoro freezing field. They might lose. Happy. Is this the dieback? They do break the Lincoln Sphere though. Morphlin. Below wants to come right back into this fight. Does he have the boots of travel to do it? That might take a little bit longer now. The boots of travel though, so he's going to have to use the blades to do it by foot, it seems.
Level 25 Storm with a massive so much damage. They're going in for the Morphling. He doesn't have a buyback.
Oh, he gets. Do they get to kill him? He goes down. Warwick has to go down. It's going to be him that's left alive. No, it's not. The creeps are pushing in. There's no buybacks available on the side of Hydra, and this is going to be 4 heroes, even with the death of the Morphling. No way Warwick defends this.
They don't have the glyph. The game is over. They gave it their best. Hydra, they made Team Spirit work for it. The team that is most likely going to be at the top of Eastern Europe DPC Division 1. They really made them work for it. This team is legit. The Spirit, they're sweating after the series.
Yeah, you can see